I'm just going to get myself ready here. And I thought it'd be really great to just kind of check in on the current energies of all of you guys out there. I didn't make it here yesterday because I ended up having to take someone to the emergency room. So my whole day was kind of moved into another direction. But today, let's catch up and see what's going on with all you guys. Burn a little cedar here. Get us all cleared for the meeting. So I'm really grateful to be here today. I feel like my cold continues, but I'm not going to let that stop. But let's take a look at all of you guys and see what's going on with the current energies. Hey, Etchen, welcome in. Yeah, everything's all right. Listen, I've got a friend who, crazy friend, he's just been in and out of the hospital since February. And, yesterday was the first time I got to see him. And sure enough, I took one look at him. He had an infection on his leg. He's diabetic. And I was like, we're going to the hospital, because he was already in the hospital for septic shock. And I just can't take the chance with that. So anyway, hi, Louise. Welcome in. I thought I'd do a reading, checking on the current energies for all of us. Yeah, he's actually my ex-husband, and he's a Vietnam veteran, and he really struggles, mentally. He struggles, so I keep an eye on him, and, it's just like I feel like I'm getting PTSD because every time I walk in the door, the first thing I think is, oh my God, I got to take you to the hospital. Anyway, I think he's finally on the mend. I've got somebody spent the night with him over at his house and, giving me a break. Anyway, sometimes, you just got to do what you got to do. Yeah, serious PTSD. Yeah, I mean, it's funny because I've told people for years, it's just like, you guys just don't understand. When I go to see him, I never know what I'm going to find when I walk in the door. In February, my nightmare really happened. He had been on the floor for 3 days. And the dog, Huggy, the one that I have now, Huggy was in the house for those 3 days, and it was just a horrific scene, and from that moment on, I realized, wow, this man he needs more help than we can give him. And he doesn't want to go to the nursing home. He wants people to come out. There's people who say they're going to come out, but I gave him till September. I said, you have till September. I said, we'll do the best we can to keep you out of a nursing home. But come September, we got to make some big decisions. So we're working on that. And, I believe all the good solutions will come. Meanwhile, I still wonder every time I walk in that door what I'm going to find when I see him. And like I said, I went away, came back. I wasn't feeling well. And then, on the flip side, there he was. Anyway. Yeah, it's difficult, but we're here to help best way we can. But let's take a look at all you guys. I want to do current energies on all the signs. I'm still going to have it open for you guys to ask questions, but first let's get through and see, what's going on with Aries all the way through Pisces and see if we can get some enlightenment, all right? So let's see. First card out for you, Aries. I'm going to pull 3 cards for each one of the zodiac signs, all right? So current energies, Aries, a little bit of stress, a little anxiety, right? Because here we got the 9 of Swords coming in. And we have the 4 of Pentacles, all right? So there could be some stress over money coming up this week. Hierophant here in the middle. Maybe, you didn't calculate correctly. I just get a sense that you kind of doing your thing. There is just a little bit of lack of, oh my God, now the bills are due and I don't have money. I'm just feeling like this week money could be very, very stressful for some of you Aries out there. But the fact that the Hierophant comes in upside down, I like that because I feel like no matter what, you're gonna figure it out. The Hierophant, when it comes in, you do your thing. Maybe not everybody agrees with how you're gonna do it, Aries, but I feel like, if you are strapped and you got to figure out how you're going to pay some bills this week, you're going to figure it out and you're going to do it your way. So I like that for you, Aries. Let's look at Taurus. Now, Taurus, you start out with the 5 of Pentacles coming in reversed. So unlike Aries, I feel like, you are trying to move out of a situation where you've been feeling like you haven't had enough. Now, we do have the Tower card coming in and the 8 of Cups. So you might be dealing with a situation this week, Taurus, that You don't know whether you should hang on to it or not. I feel like something unexpected shows up this week, right? Because when we have this tower right here in the middle, and it's just like, I think, you know, you are really trying to figure out how to move on from a situation. You might get an aha moment of how you really want to proceed with someone or something. Because the Eight of Cups, you know, you're trying to figure out if you want to walk away from someone or something, or you want to hang on to it. Because this one, you're sitting on the fence, but I feel like the tower is going to give you the answer this week, right? So expect the unexpected. But I do feel like, you know, for a lot of you Taurians, you know, you're coming out of a place where, you know, you haven't felt like you wanted to socialize. And I feel like maybe you do want to kind of get out there. But again, you're dealing with this issue that, you know, you're going to have to face at some point this week, because either you're going to keep doing something or going to hang on to someone, give them another chance, or you're going to walk. And I think the tower might decide exactly what you want to do there. Hi, Shahida. How are you? Nice to see you in the house. My favorite people here, Louise and Shahida and Action. All right, let's see. Gemini, what's going on for you? You got the Seven of Pentacles coming into the Eight of Swords to the Queen of Pentacles. I feel like a lot of you Geminis this week, you're not going to give attention to something. You're done with it. When we get to the Seven of Pentacles and it's upside down, you don't want to put any more energy into something that's not working for you. And maybe you've been sitting on the fence as to whether or not you should give up a project, or, you know, maybe quit your job or make a shift or a change. Because this is a lot of anxiety, and I think you've been hanging on to something a lot longer than you should have. And I think this is a week where you're going to look at it and say, I don't know if I can continue to keep going with this project or, you know, this situation, because you end up with this Queen of Pentacles, all right, Gemini, and I like that. Sorry. I just feel like this Queen of Pentacles, you know, is like, you know, you need to find more stability in your situation, you know. So if you're given to something that's not given back, I think, you know, this Queen says, let's not keep doing this, all right? Let's not keep feeding something that's not growing. So I think something is going to definitely bring light to, you know, this stress, because if you try to hang on to something, Gemini, and it's not going, it's only going to continue to get more stressful. And I think, you know, the fact is that you need to find more stability, and to keep feeding a monster that's not, you know, working for you. I think this is a week that you might give that up. Hi, Gulsat. Is it Gulaf Shah? I don't know how to say your name. Welcome in, though. It's nice to see you. Mommy, welcome in. All right, let's see. Cancer, what's going on for you? We got the King of Wands, Six of Cups, Seven of Wands. I wonder, some of you Cancers, whether or not there is something from your past, an idea, a thought that kind of surfaces on, like, you know, I think I might want to do this moving forward. And we have the Seven of Wands here. So I'm feeling like some of you Cancers are very enlightened this week. The King of Wands is very creative, very entrepreneurial. I mean, they think outside of the box. And the fact that we've got this Six of Cups coming in, I got to tell you, Cancer, I feel like something that you used to do may be something you might want to revive, you know, and bring into like your future. I mean, this could be something you could really work with. Sorry, just keep coughing. Rocho, welcome in. Thanks for the compliment. Anyway, I feel like this is a good week for you, Cancer, you know. So if you get an idea or you are inspired to do something, don't be afraid to, you know, put it in motion, because this Seven of Wands is, you know, usually a card of an advocate. But, you know, he's got his foot on these wands and he's looking forward. And I just feel that, you know, this is really working for you, all right? So whatever this idea, this thought is that comes through, maybe you want to really follow through with it. Where do I buy my dresses from? The thrift store. I mean, this is a poncho just because I'm cold, you know, and I've got this cold and I can't seem to shake it. Mommy, welcome in. All right, I'll take questions here in a little bit. All right, but I like this for Cancer. Let's move on to my Leos. What's coming through with my current energies for Leo? We got the Knight of Swords, the Hanged Man, and the Five of Cups. So I'm feeling like somebody is coming towards you, really wanting you to make some sacrifices. I mean, sometimes I feel sacrifices. I'm just feeling like you could be pressured from somebody from your past to do something that you no longer want to do. I mean, when we have this hangman energy, I mean, you're kind of looking like, I don't know. I mean, I've done so much and I've given so much, and I don't know if I want to keep doing this. So yeah, I'm feeling like, this Knight of Swords energy could come in, and, you're going to be kind of hung up. It's like, I don't know if I really want to do this. I don't know if I really want to go back and, see if we can make something work. And I say that because your final card is that of the Five of Cups. And it's reversed. And we see here, when it's upright, he's handing you 2 more cups. And I think, you're like, no, I don't want to do that. Let me see if I got a cough drop here. I'm not going to do this. So I feel like somebody is going to want to put pressure on you, Leo, and you're just not going to want to budge. Stick to your guns. Forgive me for the coughing. I'm having a coughing fit. I haven't coughed all morning until I get on here. You like the hat in my profile picture? Oh, yeah, I love my hats. I have a hat. I actually asked a friend of mine who makes hat bands. I was like, can I have one of your hat bands? And she's like, absolutely. So I got a new hat band coming. I'm all excited. All right, let's see. Virgo, what's going on with you? We're starting out with the Temperance, Queen of Cups, and the Ten of Wands. So I feel like, there's a situation you're dealing with, and you're keeping it on the hush-hush that you're working on. I feel like you're working on something to kind of alleviate some of the responsibilities and the heaviness. So a lot of you Virgos this week, I think, are going to try to figure out, how you can let go of some of the weight and the responsibilities and lighten the load in your life. But this Queen of Cups to me says that you're up to something. And this Temperance card, and you're not going to tell anybody about it. So I think that's wise, all right? Because sometimes when, you have this idea or this thought and you start sharing it, people can really bust your bubble, right? And that's just no fun. But I feel like, this week, though, really the energies are pointing to, I'm going to fix it so that I'm no longer carrying all the weight and all of the responsibilities. So I feel a solution is on the horizon for you, Virgo, and I like that. Libra, what's coming in for you? Chiro, welcome in. Libra, you've got to make some decisions around work, around money, around how you're making your money. I think, you're pretty stable. It shows here with this 9 of coin, but at the same time, it's just like, do I really want to do this? Do I want to keep going with this? So I think some decisions around how you're making money or how much money you're making, I think you want to change some of that up. And the fact that we have this 2 of Pentacles here in the middle and this 8 of Pentacles on the end here, I feel like, you're ready to break some cycles. I mean, if you're in a job that's very monotonous, I can see like, yeah, it's a good job, but I keep doing the same thing over and over again. So you may want to just kind of think about, what could I do where I can still make the kind of money that I make, but it's not so monotonous. Because that 8 of Pentacles is about, breaking cycles. So I think this week you're going to look for a little bit of that. Hi, Eddie James Productions. Nice to have you in the chat. I am so sorry about this cough. All right, let's see what's coming in for all my Scorpios. We got some happy things going on. Now, Scorpio, you may be a little bit like me, feeling a little under the weather this week. So take care of yourselves. I mean, there is this cold that's going around. One astrologer blames it on Mars coming out of a Cancer, but I don't know. But I feel like, this is a week, if you're not feeling good and everybody wants to go out, I mean, come on, Scorpio. I mean, this Page of Cups are out having a good time. I think it's only going to make things worse for you. So if you can stay home and take care of yourself like me, I'm not a Scorpio, but I do have a Scorpio Venus. I feel like that would probably be the better thing to do this week rather than go out and push yourself. Because You know, I mean, sometimes, oh, I feel well enough, you know, and then you realize, oh my God, I shouldn't have gone out. And I just get that feeling for you, Scorpio, that maybe this is one of these weeks that you know, take care of yourself rather than go out and party. Because here, you know, you're having a good time and everything, but can you really afford to pay the price? All right, let's see what's going on. Yeah, Louise, Mars is now in Leo. So, like, we're fighting now to shine, you know, shine our light, which is good, you know. I think, you know, we're kind of setting boundaries where we didn't have boundaries before. Hi, Anna. Welcome in. It's so nice to see all you guys. It really makes me happy to see you guys come in. Thanks for the likes, the comments, the shares, all that good stuff. You know, that also helps. All right, let's see. All right, where am I? We are looking at Sagittarius. Sagittarius, we got the Seven of Swords, Six of Swords, and then the Knight of Pentacles. So I feel like, you know, there is a situation you were dealing with that, you know, maybe somebody's sneaking around, right? Or maybe they have, or maybe it was you, I don't know. But the Six of Swords here shows, you know, maybe we can make a peace offering. So if you got involved with someone and kind of blew up a little bit, I do feel like this week, you know, you may be thinking about, well, maybe we can, you know, figure out and make up and at least find some closure, you know, and move on from whatever it was that, you know, was a little upsetting. So I do sense there's this upsetting situation. Because we have the Six of Swords, you know, this is going away from some situation that's been pretty troublesome, you know, into smoother waters. But here, you know, I see a peace offering being made. So maybe somebody comes back, you know, and, you know, tries to make up. You know, that's what I'm feeling like, you know, maybe I was in the wrong. And I'm just feeling like somebody wants to come back and make up with you, Sagittarius. So, you know, whether you like it or not, you know, I think, you know, give the person a chance, you know, and just to keep being open-minded, you know, and just, you know, be open to what somebody else has. Because sometimes, you know, even though you know that the situation isn't going to work out in the end, you know, to just know that we ended on a more friendly note than how it ended, you know, because this could be ugly. You know, the Seven of Swords, I mean, it's just like, you screwed me over. But I feel like somebody wants to kind of make up for it. So that's what I see for you, Sagittarius. Capricorn, we got the Emperor coming in reversed. Uh-oh. I think work is going to be really difficult. All right, we've got an Emperor reversed. We got a Knight of Swords reversed. And then we got the Hermit showing up. Look, if you can do whatever you can on your own and not have to answer to the boss, because I just feel like it doesn't matter what you do, you know, this week, they're never going to be satisfied. They're going to want more. And, you know, the Capricorns, you guys are really workaholics, you know, so if you're going to, you know, put yourself out there and try to really do a good job for an Emperor reversed who, you know, you're never going to make them happy. And then we have the Knight of Swords, the King of Swords over here. He's also reversed. This is also somebody who, you know, grumpy. And then we have the Hermit. So I'm feeling like this week, if you can just like avoid having to really deal with the higher ups, you'll probably be much happier. And maybe, you know, you can take it, maybe you can take the workload home with you, because I feel like rather than deal with these people, you'd rather be on your own. So yeah, work could be challenging for some of you Capricorns this week. And let's see what's coming in for my Aquarius. We have the Ten of Pentacles, Three of Cups, and the Chariot. All right, so listen, I feel like there's been a hard blow within the friendship circle, right? You know, maybe there's somebody that really upset you, because here we have this Ten of Pentacles. It's reversed. This is a loss of some sort. And then we have the Three of Cups, all right? Usually, you know, these are people that are happy for us. So I feel like, you know, maybe somebody's not happy with how you handled the situation, right, Aquarius? But listen, you got to move on, all right? We've got the Chariot here. You know, what, good or bad, you know, whatever it was that happened between a situation. Because I just feel like this Three of Cups is like, you know, something happened and maybe somebody felt shortchanged, or you didn't throw in enough money, you know, when we went out, or maybe somebody carried you through, you know, a situation. I just feel as if, you know, you just got to move on from this. You really got to move on. So don't let anybody hold you back, all right? You know, not everybody's going to be happy with the decisions that you have, but, you know, that Ten of Pentacles just, it shows a loss, and we've We got to move on. Maybe there was some blow up with a friendship, or, you know, or I don't know. You know, I just feel like you've got to just get past it and just move on, you know, and just let time heal the wounds of other people. All right. Pisces, what's coming out for you? We got the Nine of Wands to the Two of Cups to the Page of Pentacles. All right, look. Nine of Wands coming in reverse. You know, sometimes we just got to cut our losses and move on. I do see that you are involved with someone, you know, because here we have the Two of Cups. So some of you may end up going out to dinner. I like to think that, you know, in the midst of a week that, you know, there's a highlight of like, oh, I'm going to go out to dinner with this, my favorite person, is what I'm picking up. But I also feel like in the midst of this, you know, it could be, you know, what's going to really cheer you up is going out to dinner, because I just feel like you get some bad news. It could be around work, maybe a job that you really wanted and you don't get the job. You know, this person that you really are connected to and bonded to, I think can really cheer you up, you know, especially when, you know, you're pretty bummed out about maybe not getting the job you wanted to get, or, you know, that Page of Pentacles, you know, to me, it's like it's a message that, you know, I was really hopeful, but now I'm not so hopeful anymore. So enjoy good company to cheer you up. All right, Pisces. So that's what I got for you. Quick energy check in with all of you guys for this next few days. What's going on with all you guys? I got so many people in the chat. Welcome in. Welcome in. It's always good to see all of you. Nadita, hello. You're a Sag. Welcome in. I'm a Sag rising. RK, nice to see you. Matthew, Anna, always good to see you, Anna. Louise, you had the best day through today. Oh, good. I got something that cost nothing, but I wanted it so much. Oh, my God. That's almost a real gift, huh, Louise? Yeah. You know, it's funny. I feel good. You know, I just, you know, sound terrible. Let's see. Gul Afsha. Is there someone else also at your home except me? No, I'm all by myself. It's just me. It's just me. Me, myself, and I, and my 2 dogs. A friend of mine called me up yesterday, wanted to know if I wanted a couple cats. I was like, I don't know about that. I don't know if the dogs would be into the cats, but let's see. Shall we pull some cards for you guys? Mommy, let's start with you. Are you still out there, Mommy? Because we've got, you asked, what's coming to my life in the future, especially when can I find my future husband? And can I know what kind of person he is? Well, let's see what we can pull up for you. All right, we'll start there and then I'll move down. I don't know if anybody else. We'll start there, Mommy. All right. So let's see what's coming into your life, into your future. Great to have you all in. Thanks for all the likes. I see you're hitting that button. That makes me feel good. All right, Mommy, let's see. What's coming into your life and your future? We're looking for a husband here. Oh, my goodness. I don't see it coming in too quick. All right, because we've got the Ace of Cups coming in reverse to the Seven of Cups. You know, sometimes I wonder whether or not you feel like there's just no one out there for you. You know, because, you know, here's like, oh, I don't know if love is ever going to come my way. And with the Seven of Cups coming in reverse, it's like there's not very many people. There's not a lot of options out there, not a good pick in, you know, and trying to find someone. And then we have the Two of Pentacles. So I feel like, you know, what this is telling me, Mommy, is that, you know, when we have this Two of Pentacles, it's like you can't be too picky. All right? Give people a chance. Sometimes, you know, we say, oh, no, they're not for me. Oh, no, I'm not going to go out with them. Oh, no, you know, I don't know if we have anything in common. And I feel like this Two of Pentacles is saying, why not give them a chance? Why not see if quite possibly? Because, you know, sometimes our standards are higher than what they should be. All right. And, you know, whenever we meet new people, you know, they're as nervous as you are, believe it or not. You know, so when it comes to love, Mommy, I feel like right now I don't see anything coming towards you. But I do feel as if, you know, you need to be more open to the possibilities that are around for you. What's at the bottom? Yeah, see, I see you being very guarded. You know, so drop some of those walls and give people a chance, and then you might really meet that person. Charu, how are you? Yeah, I think my coughing has gotten better as I've moved on. The cough drop has definitely helped. What do I do for a living? Well, I do this. When I'm not here, I'm on an app called Purple Ocean. So if you ever want a reading, a one-on-one reading, you can download that app. And I try to be on there. I try to be on there every day. I'm not always, but I do that, and I paint pet portraits. So like, I love animals. I love animals more than people. But anyway, I've always had this real affinity with animals. And then years ago, I started a business of doing pet portraits. I would go to dog shows, you know, and I would take pictures of the dogs, and I'd go home and I would paint them. And the next week I would show up and I'd have these paintings of these dogs. But it was really hard, and I didn't have the money to sustain it. So I kind of pushed it aside. And then last year I decided, why not, you know, see if I can revive the pet portrait business. And yeah, now I have commissions and work that I have to get done. So yeah, I'm an artist, painter, and just a tarot reader. That's what I do for a living. Let's see, there was someone else had a question. Who else had a question? I'm so glad, Louise, you had a really good day. All right, my question, though, is will the interview on Wednesday go well? Well, let's find out, right? Let's see what the cards have to say about this interview. Now, I got the Page of Cups that showed out, and I like that because that's a good indication of, yeah, it could go very, very good. Don't be afraid to be who you are in the interview. Right, Louise? But let's see. How is Louise's interview going to go on Wednesday? Is that today or next Wednesday? Let's see. Isha, how are you? I'll get you to your question next. I love all your hands. It's like me. Right, I see you. I'll get to you next. But we got to find out, though, how the interview is going to go for Louise. Because she's one of my favorites here on the chat. You're all my favorites, but she always shows up. So let's see, Louise, how's it going to go on Wednesday for you? The Hermit. Yeah, do not be afraid to open up. All right, be you. All right, and I think good things will follow. All right, but do not be afraid to kind of let them see who you are. All right, I saw something yesterday about when you interview, one of the main things is you need to let them know that you really want it and why. You know, so don't be afraid to shine, all right? And I think, you know, good things will follow with that Chariot card. So I'm optimistic for you, Louise. Really optimistic. Mommy. Hold on, I've got to go back. I want to go in order because I like to make sure everybody... Hey, hi, Striker Van Kelly. Welcome in from Australia. Nice to see you. Melody, nice to see you too. Mandy, welcome in. Isha, let's get to your, let's pull your cards, all right? Because you have all those wonderful pink hands. When will I get a good job in financial growth? Let's find out what the cards have to say for you, Isha. When are you going to get a good job in financial growth? All right, let's see. Are you ready? I have the Four of Pentacles. You might have to open up a little bit more. And sometimes, you know, when we see the Four of Pentacles, it's usually a card of holding back, you know, for fear of like, oh my gosh, if I open up, this will happen. The fact that it's come upside down, I wonder whether or not, you know, Isha, that you might want to cast your net a little wider, you know, rather than kind of limit yourself to just one kind of area. Open it up, because the Four of Pentacles says don't be afraid to open up in order to find this financial stability and security that you're really after. Let's pull another card. Yeah, you're going to make it happen. So if you open up, cast your net out a little farther, Isha, I think good things are going to come, because when we have this energy of the Magician, you can make things happen. Right? We just can't be afraid to open up for that to happen. And I feel like that's your big message. So yeah, good jobs coming in. When will it happen? You know, I mean, the Magician is, that's Aquarian energy. That's January. The Four of Pentacles, that could be, we're already in the 4th month. So I think it could happen anytime between now and January. Honestly, that's what I think will happen for you, Isha. So I hope that resonates. Mommy, you want to know whether or not your sister will be healed from her wound? Let's find out. Do I have a patron, deity that I work with? No, I work with nature. I'm more like, I talk to trees and need answers, maybe there's a tree that kind of bends a little bit and I think, oh, I'll have to do that. But I don't really have anything or anyone that I put up there, I'm just a very simple-minded person. All right, let's see about your sister, Mommy. This is important. Let's find out what the cards have to say about your sister and healing. I don't know if you noticed on my thumbnail, I have this picture. It's from the Osho Zen Tarot. Here's the Osho Zen Tarot deck. It's a beautiful deck, a very different kind of energy, but that's all about healing, Mommy. So, I'm encouraged. So let's see. Let's see what these cards have to say about your sister. Will she be healed from her wound? Upright for yes, reversed for no. Oh, I think she's gonna have to struggle for a little while because the 7 of Cups has come up reversed. If it's not working, she needs to not be afraid to try other things, all right? Whatever this wound is, because I just feel as if you can't limit yourself on the one way to heal. All right, healing comes in many forms, and I feel like your sister, may need to like open up and be open to different ways to heal whatever this wound is. So that's what I think. That's what I think. Melody, you want one on health? Is that what that's about? Nevermore. How are you? Striker Van Kelly. Oh, thanks for liking. I really appreciate that. Here, Mate has 60 cats guaranteed. I don't know what that means. Nice dentures. Can I take them out? No, I can't take them out. They're really stuck in there. Ever since I was a little girl, I had a lot of issues around my teeth. So I've had crowns on my teeth for many, 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 many years. But no, I can't. They're not dentures. Nicole Davis, you're looking for a key. Can you help? I want to thank my daddy. Hit it as a birthday gift from the afterlife. Okay, I'm not real sure what that means, Nicole. Shivani, welcome in. How will your relationship work? Oh, let's find out. Shivani, let's see what's going on. Welcome in, Sean. Sean Shack is here. And I always like to see Shahida. Welcome in, Shahida. All right, let's see what's going on. Let's find out, Shivani. How will your relationship work out? How is that going to work out? Look, I feel like it's going to work out real good. This is an energy about the wife, So I feel like you're really solid and stable. This could end up being a very, very good relationship. What long-term energy is what I see, Shivani. I like that the Queen has come out because really, I mean, if you are really focused on building a future with someone, I think you could do it with this person. I like that. Gula, will you marry next year? Oh, wait a second, Nicole. I'm not a person that loses anything, so my father just died last year, my birthday coming up in May, and I said, maybe I would like to think he hid it from you. Did you check the garage? I don't know why that came through, Nicole. I think you will. The afterlife, they're always around, people in the afterlife. Yeah, Empress. I feel like, you need to look a little bit more optimistic. I think they did leave something for you. Here we have this the 3 of Pentacles. And again, it's like they squirreled it away. I feel like there's something that's hidden, you know. And here he's showing this coin here. It looks like a sand dollar to me. I don't know what it is. But I feel as if there's something that he's taught you. And you just got to go with that, Nicole. Shahida, what's your question? Wait. Sulala, how did they look at you? Okay, let's find out, Shahida. I didn't mean to kind of jump over you. Action, I'll get to you next, all right? Shahida, let's see. How do they see you? Let me see, I gotta get my cards all straightened out. Nice to have you guys in. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for keeping me company. All right, Shahida, let's see. Oh, look at this. Marriage cards coming up. Listen, this could be a serious relationship, Shahida. I mean, really. You know, because, you know, when we see the Hierophant, this is two people aligning for a higher purpose. So I like this. So I think your relationship has a lot of potential. Action. Does the universe have any guidance regarding my love life? Let's find out. Let's see. Question, does the universe have any guidance regarding your love life? Let's see. All right, yeah, you know, they want you to be patient for starters. So I feel like if you have started a relationship, you know, you may have been involved with someone, you know, and you're not sure whether or not you should walk away or you should hang in there. I mean, this is one of these tough kind of energies. But, you know, in the end, I don't feel like this relationship is going to be, you know, very much for you. So, I mean, as an overall guidance message, I just feel like you're putting a lot of energy into a situation that may not be, you know, good for you. All right. So you may want to turn around and just kind of really see the long-term energy, because when we have the Eight of Cups, you know, you're sitting on the fence of like, should I stay, should I not, should I continue to, you know, put energy into something. So, you know, when it comes to your love life, Action, I just feel as if you got to look at the long term, and the long term doesn't show a lot of, you know, possibilities that this is a good match. So yeah, if you've been wondering, should I stay or should I go, you know, I think you're down to the last cup, and I think you know deep down whether or not you should stay or whether you should go. But I do see you happy come summertime, right? So listen, it's only April, and by summertime, I always relate this to August, you know, the card of Leo. I think by Leo, you'll be feeling really good about your decision, whether you stay or whether you go. All right, Ashen? Gulaf Shah. Grandma, have your vitamins. Leave this YouTube live. All right, so, you know, if you're not going to be nice, I have the power to just get and go, poof, you're gone. See? That's so powerful. I just love doing that. You know, if you're not going to be nice on here, I'm not going to be nice to you, you know? I mean, I just want to keep a good vibe. All right, let's see. Gula, let's see if you're going to marry next year. Is Gula going to marry next year? Inquiring minds want to know. And then Quick Star, we'll jump down to you, all right? All right, let's see. Gula, what's going on with you? I see a lot of anxiety, you know, around whether or not to marry, you know? And I got to tell you, I feel like you would love to get married next year, but I just don't see it happening. Because I see more stress and anxiety than it actually happening. And here we have this Page of Pentacles coming in reverse, you know, and this is about to beginning something that you could probably really build off of in the future. And I'm just not feeling that for you. So, you know, when it comes to marriage, this is at the bottom of the deck. You want to be sure that you're marrying the right person. I do see you getting married, all right? Whether it's going to happen next year, I'm not so sure. But I do see that, you know, it's one of these energies. It's better to wait than to rush into marriage. But I definitely see you getting married. And I think you're going to marry a good guy. I think you're going to marry somebody who's going to bring you a lot of stability and is going to take care of you. And that's what you want, all right, Gula? So that's what I've got for you. All right, quick star. What does Spirit need to tell me? Give me a message for the quick star here. Let's see, what messages do you have for the quick star? Ooh, I see the Magician. Manifestation. You know, if you think it, it will happen. I think you're a good manifester. Do you know what I mean? I really feel like you might be a really, really good manifester. All right, but let's see. What does Spirit need to tell you? I just, you know, when I see the Magician energy come up, I mean, this is you being able to like, oh my gosh, I want this, you know, and you kind of put your hand up and it kind of comes down from space and here it is. You ground it into reality. So I think you're a good manifester. But quick star, let's see what card comes out for you. We have the Three of Cups. I like this. You know, this is a great energy around being social, being around the people that you really love, being around people that really support you. You know, you're enjoying yourself with this Three of Cups. So I love this energy. If you have an opportunity to hang with the people you love most this week, why not do it? All right, quick star, because I love this. But the manifestation thing, that I doesn't want to leave me. I got to tell you, I really feel, quick star, that you have this ability to really manifest. You know, some of us are better at it than others. We all can manifest if we practice, but I think you just have a magic about you. So I like that. Oh, Gula, that's true. Yeah, it's just like, you know, if it's not the right time to get married, you know, if you have the rest of your life, you know, don't rush into something that, you know, you're going to regret later on. I see a very good person for you, Gula, coming down the road, you know, and that's what you really want. Yeah, it was pretty good. Do I believe in the M on a palm? I do. I do believe that. I have an M on both of my palms. I do believe in that. Listen, I have a friend of mine. She's an amazing palm reader. And, you know, I showed her my hand, and it was just so funny. She's like, are you a collector of things? And when I was a kid, I used to collect all kinds of things, you know. But now as I'm older, I just kind of collect little things to just kind of brighten up my house. But I am a collector of little things. It was just really funny that she pulled that out. But I have a friend who's an absolutely amazing palm reader. Mandy, what does your spirit need to tell you? MB Gaming, welcome in. Let me hit Mandy first and then I'll get back to you. Oh, see, now here we have this Joe coming in here. He's another one. You know, if you're not going to be nice, go away. I don't go to your channel and put nasty things up, right? You have to be nice here. I'm not going to tolerate it, right? I only tolerate a high vibe. Hi, Jenny. Welcome in. I'm pulling cards, so... All right, let's see. Mandy, I'm gonna grab a card for you, and then we're gonna turn around and go upward and see what MB Gaming has. But let's see, what does Spirit need to tell Mandy today? What messages do we have for Mandy today? Grateful, thankful for the messages for Mandy. Oh, look at this, the Justice card. All right, man, keep things fair and balanced. And we have the Justice card. It could indicate there could be some legal matter that could be pending. But it doesn't have to. As an overall energy, I mean, the Justice card is really about knowing who you are and not letting people take advantage of you. And I also feel like, you know, you are very balanced and very clear. I like this because you're holding up this scale here and it's balanced. So I like that for you, Mandy. I like that. You know, you just stay on what's fair and just and what's right. Yeah, because I feel like there could be an energy around you that's a little passive and aggressive. Whatever this Knight of Swords energy is, I don't like it, you know. So I feel like as long as you are in control and you're holding that scale, you're going to make sure that somebody doesn't try to take you for a ride. Be careful of that Knight of Swords because I don't like them. I just don't like the Knight of Swords coming in reverse. All right, NB Gaming, how are you? How are you, NB Gaming? We're going to pull a card of guidance for you. You want to know whether or not you're going to get to the National Hockey League. Let's find out. Let's see how you're going to do with the hockey league. Grateful, thankful for the messages. For NB Gaming, he wants to know about this hockey league. Oh, look at that. You're going to be moving. I like this because this is very positive. Stay focused. Don't get distracted. With the Chariot card, we can get distracted. But I feel like this is really the direction you need to be going on. You just need to trust that you are on the right road. And because I see good things for you. Very, very good things for you with the hockey league. Yep. Very good. All right, let's see who else we got going on in here. How old am I? I am 62 years old. I am on the other side of the moon. Who's the palm reader? She's just a friend of mine. You know, she just does it locally. She has a little business, Tierra Madre Botanicals. She does a lot of herbs and things like that. You can look that up in Santa Fe and maybe ask her to do a palm reading. She's really, really good. Thanks, Pavesti. Did I say that right? It's nice to see you. Hi, Wax Ahmad Gondal. God, I'm so bad with these names. You guys really challenge me. You're a lawyer. If you do tax diploma, will it be good for me in the future? Well, let's see. Jenny, I'll come back with a message for you. Let me find out how Wakas, how's he going to do? Will it be good for him to do taxes in the future? Oh, I definitely see a yes on that. I think it'll make you really, really happy. I also see that you could be working with other people with that, you know? So, but be careful of one person who may be a little, I want to say cold. But I do think it would be very, very good for you to have this card come out. I mean, these people are happy. They're celebrating. So I think that's a good direction for you. All right, Wakas? Mandy, thank you. I take each as it comes. Man, that's the only way to go. Hi, Betsy. Very beautiful and very young looking for my age. Yeah, it's because I'm a Capricorn. Thank you. Really appreciate that. All right, let's see. Who was I going to play for? Oh, Jenny. Jenny, Cozy Corner. Are you still there? Let's get a message for you, Jenny. Yeah, Wakas, you know, if I need my taxes done, I'm going to call you up. Yeah, Pavesti, I'll do one for you. Let me get Jenny first. I got a message for Jenny coming up. I really try to make sure all of you guys are attended to. You know, sometimes I'll miss you because it goes so fast, but I'll try to get to everyone. And do not be afraid to, you know, be like, you missed me, because, you know, sometimes I do. All right, are you ready, Jenny? Jenny's Cozy Corner. Let's see what's going on for Jenny. Grateful, thankful for the messages for Jenny. What can you tell me for Jenny? Jenny's Cozy Corner. I like the name. Oh my gosh, you're going to get a wish. Look at this. The genie has come out for you, Jenny. I love it. So whatever it is that you really are wishing for, you're really wanting to have happen, I see that it's going to come true. You know, when the genie comes out, your wish is granted. So I like that for you. I really do like that. You know, and I feel like you have options, you know, and you have choices. But what is your deepest desire? Because I feel like that's what's really going to come through for you, Jenny. Great, great card to get. All right, let's see. Who follows Jenny? Mandy, Betsy, Mandy, Wakas, Betsy. Oh, Pavesti. I don't know if I'm saying your name right, but let's pull a card for you. You know, you want to do a reading. If you will end up successful this year, I got my fingers crossed for you. I want you to be successful. Let's see how it turns out. I think if you decide that this is the year I'm going to be successful, then that's how it's going to be. The mind is a powerful thing, you know, and we just can't be discouraged. Oh, good. Yeah, listen, if I was coming on here and I asked the tarot reader what messages are good for me and they pulled out that 9 of Cups, I'd be dancing. Yay. We all have a wish. All right, Pavesti, let's see. Are you going to be successful this year? And the answer is you will. You will. But like I said, I feel like you've got to not hang on to some things. All right, when we have the Judgment card, you know, it's like if you want to be successful, We can't keep hanging on to something that's not working for us, all right? This Judgment card says, let's just move on and move forward. And then we have this Knight of Cups coming in, and this is usually somebody bringing in an offer or something that you're really going to love. So, just keep that in mind. If you're trying to hang on something that's not working, it might be time to end it and then move on because there is something better behind it. So that's what I think for you, Pavesti. I mean, you definitely pull out the year with success. Oh, thanks for subscribing, Jenny. Really appreciate it. All right, let's see. Who else is here? Betsy, welcome. Well, I guess that's everyone. Oh, wait, Perna, you want a general reading. Perna, let's see what's going on with you. Grateful, thankful for the messages for Perna. Yeah. I really enjoy coming on here. I mean, I know I sound terrible and it might not look that great, but I really enjoy coming on here. And believe it or not, it makes me feel better. All right, let's see, Perna. General reading for you. One more shuffle for you. Ready? Let's see what's coming up for Perna. General reading for Perna. Grateful, thankful for the messages for Perna. All right, listen, you got to get out of your head. All right, there's a lot of noise when I see the 8 of Swords. All right, all the stories. Yeah, but in the past, things didn't work out. In the future, we're really anxious. I mean, this is you having all kinds of stories. It's really time to get out of your head and just really enjoy yourself, all right? The Knight of Wands, this is like the happy-go-lucky, people love it when you show up, you're the life of the party. And I feel like, for you, Perna, it would be really, really great for you to get out there, have some fun. Don't worry about anything, all right? Leave the worries behind. There's nothing you can do with that. In the moment, I feel like it's time for you to get out there and have a good time and enjoy yourself. The other thing I'm sensing with this Knight of Wands, Perna, is that you might end up, traveling. Maybe you're going to fly somewhere. A lot of times this could indicate an airfare or flying by plane. Don't be afraid to go, because I think, you'd have a good time if you just kind of let loose and have some fun. So yeah, that's what I'm feeling for you. Because here, bottom of the deck, you show up with the 2 of Wands, right? Sometimes I think you might feel a little strapped and you can't do things that maybe you would love to do. And the Knight of Wands is saying, go for it. Just have a good time. Enjoy yourself. We only live once, right? So yeah. Thanks, Perna. I'm on the upswing. I was feeling really bad last week. I'm feeling better. It's like the aftermath of a cold. You know how it is. It's just got to run its course. But I'm not gonna let it keep me from doing what I want to do. Jennifer Ward, welcome in. I want to ask about what is coming for my career this year. All right, Jennifer, let's take a look. Hi, Yasmin. You're welcome, Perna. All right, let's see. Jennifer, let's find out what is coming for you in your career this year. Jennifer would like a reading on her career for the rest of the year. We're already in April, so let's see what's up with your career here. All right, so, I got to tell you, I feel like you're going to be dealing with some difficult energy, all right? We've got this Knight of Swords coming in reverse. This is somebody who, oh my God, they know everything, so, you can't, it's hard, they're hard to argue with. And I feel like this person could really hold you up from moving on, all right? Because the 2 of Wands really wants you to think, like, maybe I could do something else. But I just feel like you got somebody really hard that you are working with, because that King of Swords, that's not an easy energy. Yeah, and I think they can deplete you. So if you are working in a situation where you don't feel like your strengths are really being met, where that you can really put yourself out there and really do the job that you can do because of this guy, just know that you do have options, all right? You're not as stuck as you want. So I think this year you're going to find yourself really needing to figure out what you really want, because this person is going to push your buttons, right? and they're going to make you question. And I think, you know, it's almost, I feel like, well, you're never going to get a job as good as this. You're never going to be, you know, it's like they will deter you from moving forward. And I feel like what they do is that they pull your strength out, and they just keep that from you. So anyway, when it comes to your career, I just really feel, Jennifer, that, you know, you've got to really pull on your strengths and don't let somebody tell you you don't have those strengths. I just don't like this energy of the King of Wands, because a lot of time, the King of Swords, because a lot of times, you know, this is somebody, they know a lot, and they'll play you, you know, it's like they know what to do to keep you suppressed. And that's what I'm picking up, and I don't like that. So yeah, don't let this person keep you from the strengths that you have. All right, I hope that makes sense. Because here, bottom of the deck, we have the Nine of Swords, because it'll affect you. And I think you are really good at what you do. All right, so if somebody is telling you you're not, then, you know, it's time to move. Yasmin, how are you? You want to see your luck? Let's see how Yasmin is doing. Did that make sense, Jennifer? I don't know. I mean, I just pull the cards and I don't know if they make sense or they don't. All right, Yasmin, let's see. I'm going to pull a card, see what's coming up for you, all right? Mandy. We'll get to yours next. All right, Yasmin, I'm going to shuffle a couple cards for you. What should I tell me? Well, let's find out what the cards have to tell you. All right, Yasmin. Let's see what the reading has to do for you. All right, you're coming out with the Justice card to the World card. So I don't know whether there's a legal situation that you are involved in that's coming to a close. I like that the World card has come out. I feel like you come out ahead in that situation. When we do have the Justice card, and I had read this a little earlier, I mean, it is about making sure that you are in a situation that is fair, it's balanced, and, you know, you're not getting the short end of the stick. But I do feel like there's some kind of an issue that is coming to a close. Let's get one more card. The Emperor comes out as final outcome. You know, so I do feel like, you know, this whole energy around you, you know, it's like maybe you're getting divorced. I don't know if maybe that's something that you know, is going on. But, you know, these two cards kind of indicate some kind of a legal matter. And then I see the Two of Cups coming in here reverse. So there could be a relationship ending with you, Yasmin. Maybe, you know, the fire, see the fire back there? You're done with that fire. But what I see is that moving forward, the fact that you come out as this Emperor energy, you will be better for it. I don't know. I just said it could be. If you're not going to get a divorce, and you're not going to get divorced. But I do see a legal issue that could come up. Oh, good. Oh, good, Jennifer. Mandy, let's find out if you're going to be moving in a few years' time. You're anxious. I'm sorry, Yasmin. You know, stay really grounded. You know, don't let your anxiety keep your, you know, get you off focus, right? Because that Justice card wants you to remain balanced in your situation. And if you have somebody that is trying to throw you off balance, Yasmin, that could be part of the anxiety, all right? So just make sure that every step you take, it's fair and it's just for you, all right? All right, Mandy, let's see if you're going to be moving in a few years' time. Grateful, thankful for the messages from Mandy. Mandy wants to know if she's moving in a few years' time. Upright for yes. And reverse for no. No, I don't see you moving. Not right away. I mean, because we start out here. I feel like there's, you know, there's more where you're at. We do have the Page of Swords, and then we have the Eight of Pentacles. I feel like you need to break a cycle from where you are, all right? Because, I mean, if you're not happy where you are and things aren't working for you, I just feel like you're going to, you know, it's this opportunity for you to really step into your power, all right? And for you to find what it is that you need to do. But I don't see you moving right away. That definitely came in clear. I do see you bonding with someone, you know, so I don't know whether you realize this, but I see that you have a very, very good bond with somebody. Maybe you meet them in the next few years. I want to say in the next 4 years. Within the next 4 years, I see you, you know, finding someone who like you click with. And I really love that. All right, Mandy. So, yeah, no on the move, but I think, you know, where you're at right now, you'll find your strength and your power. Because, like, that Page of Swords, it's a new beginning in the direction you want to go in. Wackus. All right, let's see, Wackus. Which one would be better for you? Tax consultancy or event management business? Let's find out. Hi, Aiden. All right, Wackus, let's find out. Which's better for you? Tax, first I'll pull a card on the tax consultation thing, and then I'll pull one on the event management. All right, we'll see what comes out for you. All right, Wackus wants to know which would be better, the tax or the event. Ooh, look at you sitting in that place. The tax would definitely be a good way for you to go. And I don't think you'd be happy with the event, all right? You know, so stick with the tax. Because here I see you being able to really focus, and I think you'll really enjoy it. And as far as the event management, I mean, it's coming up as this Three of Swords reversed. I just don't think, you know, you're going to be as happy. Because, you know, when you get into the event management, there's so much more that's involved. Whereas the taxes, you can really focus. And here I see you very focused on that. So I would stick with the taxes. Aiden. All right, let me get Yasmin's career, and then we'll go from there. Hi, Miyuki Zero. Gwen. I'll call you Gwen, all right? Wait, let me get through Yasmin. She wants to know about her career. Let's get a few messages. You know, I feel like I got to take another deck for you. All right, Yasmin, I'm switching over to the Everyday Witch Tarot. Let's find out about your career. Grateful, thankful for the messages for Yasmin's career. What can you tell me about her career? Hi, Big Bully. I'll see if I can help you. Disha, yes, you can ask for guidance. All right, let me finish up here with Yasmin, and I'll pick up all you other guys down below. All right, Yasmin, your career. Let's see. I had to switch the deck. All right, look, you come up with the Nine of Wands. All right, when it comes to your career, I feel like you feel like you're backed up into this tree, right? And you got one wand left, and this is what you got to make it work. And when we reach this Nine of Wands, you know, you're almost there. All right, so when it comes to your career, I mean, if you feel like, you know, you don't have anything left, I think you're holding that magic wand. So I would, you know, hang in there, you know, even though you've gone too far to give up now, all right? So whatever's going on in your career right now, it may not, you know, you may not see anything right away because we do have this Eight of Swords come reverse. Be careful of deception, all right? If people are trying to promise you something and you don't believe them, you know, trust yourself that, you know, because I do feel like, you know, you could be deceived in your work right now. You know, but you hold the magic wand. So let's see, final outcome. Yeah, Three of Swords reversed. You know, I just feel like you might be in a situation where you're not very happy, and you've gone through an awful lot, and, you know, you have to decide whether or not you want to continue or move on. You know, honestly, I feel like eventually you're going to move on from whatever job it is that you are doing right now. Because Five of Pentacles, because it's just not working for you. So yeah, I think there's going to be a shift in your career. I don't think it's going to be right away because this Ace is reversed. But once you do make that move, you're going to feel really good. And that'll start to make you feel better. All right, Yasmin, I hope that made sense. Disha. All right, wait a minute. Let me go back to Gwen. I can't say her name. I can only say the zero. But Gwen, let's find out if you should meet the person you are talking to online. Let's find out. Should you meet this person that you were talking to? I hope you're not being catfished. Let's find out. Gwen, should you meet this person? Upright for yes, reverse for no. Let's see what's coming up. Oh, look at this. I see you with the Hermit, you know. So, you know, you want to meet this person. And I think, you know, they want to meet you. So there is potential here. You know, just make sure you're not being catfished, all right? Really follow your intuition. The Hermit's about you tuning into that wisdom. But I do get a yes on, you know, you probably would like to meet them. And if this is something that is working and there is the potential to meet them, go meet them. Because I think, you know, with this Page of Swords, you guys might have a lot in common. So I actually like that for you. All right, Gwen? Big Bully. You're thinking about joining an organization. It's a little dangerous, and I want to know yes or no. All right, Big Bully, we got to find out. You need the help of Santa Muerte, you think. I actually have that deck. All right, let's see. Big Bully, I want to find out whether or not you should join this organization. Upright for yes, reverse for no. Should Big Bully join this organization? It's a little dangerous. Yeah, go for it, Gwen. You know, I saw positive energies for that. So, yeah, I like that the Page of Swords, because it could be a beginning of... I think you guys have a lot in common, Gwen. I think, you know, intellectually, this person meets you at your level, and that's always refreshing, right? All right, Big Bully, let's find out. Should you join this organization? All right, we've got the Knight of Wands, and I feel like before you say yes, I think you need to give some distance to it, all right? Because is this organization going to keep you from your freedom? Is this organization going to keep you from being able to, you know, have, you know, this free-flowing kind of thing? Now, it doesn't say no, not to join it, but what I do see is there's distance between this dragon and where you are. Maybe give it some time before you decide, you know, because to me, the big question for you to think about, Big Bully, is, you know, how is this going to affect your own self and your freedom? If you join an organization and now you have to do what they say, then your freedom is compromised. So think about it first before you jump in, all right? Big Bully, it's a gang. You don't want to get involved with the gang. See, then they own you, you know, and you don't want to be owned. So don't be persuaded. Give it some time and give it some space, all right? Disha, Aryan thoughts for you. We broke up now for 3 months. All right, Disha, let's find out. How is Aryan feeling about you? Hi, Rainbow. Yeah, think about it first, all right? Because once you get in, and if you can't get out, you know, you don't want to be owned. You want to have freedom. And, you know, the Knight of Wands, I have a feeling that you, Big Bully, on your own probably are really a super great guy, right? Or girl or whatever, you know? And I just think, you know, you need to think about yourself first. All right, Disha, let's find out what Aryan thinks about you. Or if he is thinking about you. Let's see. Listen, he's not thinking about you. He's not even wanting to start again. I think you got to let him go, Disha, you know, because this is a no. I mean, it's a solid no. And the Page of Pentacles, you know, this is usually indicating, you know, a fresh new start, a new beginning, and I just don't see it. You know, you haven't, you know, been in contact for 3 months. I think time to move on, Disha. You know, I'm sorry. It's always hard, but I think, you know, that that'll be the best for you. Manuel, welcome in. How is Janet Coral feeling about you? We broke up 2 weeks ago. She's a Gemini and you're a Cancer. Oh, these Geminis. I say welcome in. All right, let's see. All right, Manuel, let's find out how Janet Coral is feeling about you since the breakup. Grateful, thankful for the messages. You know, look, I feel as if, she's standing in her truth. Does she think about you? Yes, I think she does. I think she does think about you. And I think, it was about her really standing in her power. But I think she has good feelings. I don't get anything, bad between you and her, but I feel like she's ready to start on her own and in a new way. What's at the bottom of the deck? Four of Wands. Yeah, she's moving on. She's happy. But she has good, fond thoughts about you. All right. So don't think she doesn't, Manuel. But she's a Gemini. Gemini is hard to pin down, because they're always in their head. S.A. Will you get another chance for your appointment? Gas check next week, 2nd of May. Let's see whether or not. Upright for yes. Oh, thanks, big bully. I'll check here in a minute, Disha. All right, SA, let's find out. Are you going to get another chance for your appointment? Gas check next week, May 2nd. Let's find out. Upright for yes, reversed for no. All right, SA. Let's see. Oh, look, I see movement, so I got a yes on that. All right, so you will, I think you are going to get another chance. But at the same time, I think options start to open up for you too. Because I like the card of the Chariot, because if this is what you want to see happen, you got to trust the process and trust the direction. And, I also am getting for you, SA, you don't want to have any regrets, all right, in the decisions that you make moving forward. But yeah, I do feel as if, you will get another chance next week. I like that for you. All right, Disha, are you connected to a Virgo? Can you guide me with that? Since 2019, seems I'm very spiritually connected. You're a Scorpio. We are in a no contact. Listen, I got to tell you something about Virgos. And this is, I'm not picking on you Virgos, but you Virgos tend to end up in very, very toxic relationships. So if you're involved with a Virgo, it's not going to be an easy relationship. I just feel like it's trouble. But let's see what comes up for you. Let's see. You're spiritually connected, but there's no contact since 1.5 years. Let's see what that's not. Let's see. Oh my gosh. Well, look, I think whoever it was that you were with, I think they saw you as a really good catch. I think the problem was more with them. Like I said, a lot of Virgos, they go in head first, and then they get caught up. I know so many Virgos that are just, oh my God, their relationships are such a mess. But I do feel like there's good feelings, around this. So Disha, yeah, this person, you have this real connection. And I think they still watch you, even though it's been 1.5 years. But I think they realize that you were really definitely a good catch. Yeah. Francisco, welcome in. Tracy Hudson, nice to see you. How about you? Well, what about you? I'll pull a card for you, Francisco. Would you like me to pull a card? Rainbow. Meanwhile, Rainbow, let's go to you. Let's see. How does your ex, Carlos, feel about you? He's a Libra, and you are a Leo. All right, let's find out, Rainbow. How does Carlos, your ex, feel about you? Let's see. All right, listen, he's walked away and he's done. I feel like it's over. I mean, honestly, I don't think there's anything left. I think what it was between you and Carlos, it's done. With that 8 of Cups coming out, it's time for you to just walk away and move on. And just let him go, right? Because it's not going to happen. It's just not. Pooja, thank you for subscribing. Really appreciate it. Yasmin, let me get some people that haven't been read for yet. It wasn't the best and you left. Yeah, when we got the Eight of Cups, it's better to leave well enough alone. Because here, you walk away, you take your bags, and it's over. Time to move on, Rainbow. All right, Francisco, you still out there? Yeah. Listen, I'm a firm believer in go with the new. It's just like the reason why we have an ex, there's a reason for it, right? And, somebody new is always going to give us a fresh new insight. Thank you, Pooja, for subscribing. Really appreciate it. Helping my channel grow. Let's see, who's next? Jersey, you're a Leo dealing with a Virgo man. Oh, I'm so sorry. Virgo man. You know what? The other thing about Virgos, it's not like I'm trying to pick on Virgos, but I do know a lot of Virgos. It's hard to tell a Virgo how to do something. Like, don't tell me I know. Like, they know so much. But Virgos are the great healers of the Zodiac. So let's see, Pooja, who's coming towards you next week? Let's see, is anybody coming towards Pooja next week? She's my new subscriber. Really grateful, thankful for my new subscriber, Pooja. Let's see, what's going on, Pooja? Next week, who's coming towards you? Oh, look, I see some arguing, all right? I feel like, there could be an issue that comes up that, you're not seeing eye to eye with someone, because here we have these two cats arguing about some issue. All right, it says law here, but I'm feeling some issue. So next week, whoever it is that you meet up with, just don't be surprised if, it doesn't go. It's not all, warm and fuzzy. Right? Because I'm just definitely feeling like you could find yourself in an argument with someone next week, Pooja. Jersey, you're dealing with a Leo and a Virgo man. Shall we check in on that? See what's going on? Let's see, Disha, can I guide you for a long-term thing with that? He's still dealing with... Ugh. All right, Jersey, let's pull your card first, and I'll go back to Disha. All right, Jersey, very stubborn. Even he's the one who cheated on you. Oh, listen, Virgos, it's not an easy temperament of a Virgo, because they are an earth sign, and they know what they know. But let's see. All right, Jersey, let's see what comes out for you. All right, card comes out. King of Pentacles. Be careful of him, all right? This is, earth sign, Virgo. This guy can be a little bit shrewd, all right? I don't trust the King of Pentacles coming in reverse because he's after something, all right? This is somebody, he's very selfish kind of nature. Be careful of this energy because... he's not good material when it comes to, he wants his cake, he wants to eat it too, he wants everything his way. So just be aware of that, all right, Jersey, because, you're Leo, and don't let him dim your light, all right, because this King of Pentacles has the ability to do that when he comes in upside down. Be careful of that, all right. Tanya, welcome in. All right, Tanya, what's next for you in a home? Hi, Tia. We'll get to you. All right, let's see. Tanya, what's going on for you? What's next for you in a home? I did a reading today where I saw somebody getting the money and the home that they want. I hope that was for you. But let's see. About you and a home. All right, we got the Five of Swords reversed to the High Priestess. Listen, don't just jump into any place because it could be the right place, all right? Because you got to follow your intuition. If your gut tells you like, yeah, maybe I won't find anything else. Maybe this isn't the right place. Follow your intuition. Because I just feel like the first place that you kind of come upon, it's not going to work for you. All right, and I feel like they're going to hold back some information about, the house or whatever that, something's going to really bother you. Just really tap into that, and it's okay to say no because what follows next is I think you're going to find something that you're going to like really, really much better. So no on the first part, you know, so just trust your intuition, all right? Just trust it, because I do see that something is really going to come in for you that is so good and you're going to be really happy with when it comes to having a home. All right? That's what I got for you, Tanya. Yeah, you know, I did a reading for someone when I was up in Colorado. I just kind of ran into him and I told him I read cards, and they were asking me about a house, and she pointed the house out to me, and on the outside it looked really, really good, but when I pulled the cards, it was like, no, no, no. And then she told me a little bit of who had been in there before, and I was like, oh no, don't go to that house. You're good where you are, you know. And I feel that's the same thing for you, Tanya. Savita, welcome in. Sure, I'll pick a card for you. Why am I ignoring you, Yasmin? I've already read for you. I'm trying to give other people a chance. You know, I believe in everybody getting a chance. I've already pulled for you. And at the end, if you're still around and everybody else has had their reading, I will come back. I am not ignoring you, all right? All right, let's see. What's going on for you, Savita? You want me to pick a card? All right, Savita, look at this. You come out with the card of the Star. This is one of the brightest energies you can pull, all right? So when you come out with the Star card, if you have been, you know, wanting something to happen or to manifest, I feel like it's going to happen for you, all right? You know, just hang in, have the hope and the faith. Everything is going to be okay, and it will be, all right, Savita? I like this card. This is a great energy for you. Yeah, so just know that everything is going to work out. Whatever it is that you are after, it's going to happen. Good card for you. Jersey. Oh, good. He is selfish, and it's all about him. Yeah, man, that King of Pentacles, ugh, be careful, you know, because he's one of these people that he would take whatever he could from you and not give it all back, not give it back. You know, so be careful of that, Virgo. Nisha, welcome in. Yasmin, you need to be patient, all right? Because I've already read for you, and like I said, at the end, when I'm done and I've gotten everybody else, I'll come back to you, all right? We got to keep things fair here. Everybody wants to read. All right, Nisha. What's going on? When will your son get married? Let's find out. And Tia, I'll read yours next. All right, Nisha, when will your son get married? You know, I feel like, you know, he will get married, and then I feel like he will, you know, it won't be a good marriage. You know, he's got to be careful, because this also is screaming, you know, he's going to get married and then get divorced. So if there's problems before they get married, you know, he's got to be careful. The Tower. Yeah, he can't avoid things. I just feel like when it comes to your son, he can't be too impulsive, because I get arguing, a lot of arguing with his person that could end up leading to divorce. So will he get married? Yes. You know, will he get divorced? I see that happening too. All right. So yeah, it's just one of these energies. What's at the bottom of the deck? Ace of Cups. You know, he's got to marry for love. He can't marry just to get married, because I feel like he could marry somebody that he doesn't really love. And that would be terrible. But yeah, that's what I see for your son. All right, Tia, what's going on for you? Tia. Please, welcome in. Edward, nice to see you. You're working on something you want to know that would be able to get me rich. Oh, gosh, I hope so. All right, let me first pull for Tia. Grateful, thankful, Tia. But he doesn't look like he's open for a relationship. Let's find out about this guy. Tia's interested in someone, but she's not sure he's open for a relationship. No, I don't think he is. You know, I don't think he's open right now to any kind of a relationship. I think his focus is more on himself. Yeah, he's not wanting a relationship. The Hierophant reverse, this is somebody who likes to do their own thing, be on their own. So your instincts are right. You know, even though you like this person, I just don't think he's one to go after. And I always, you know, tell people, you know, don't go after somebody who won't chase after you. You know, and I just really feel this guy would never chase after you. So, yeah, let him go, Tia. There's other fish in the sea. I know it's easy for me to say, but let him go. Edward, please tell for me also, ma'am. All right, Suze, let's pull a card for you, and then I'll pull a card for Edward. All right, Suze. Let's get a card out for you, Suze. I don't see a question, so we'll just pull a general card for you, right? Grateful, thankful for the messages for Suze and Lama. What can you tell me to tell her? Be careful of manipulation, all right? And what I'm feeling is just be careful of trying to make something happen before it's time. Because here with this Two of Pentacles, you're trying to make everything balance. But when we have the Magician coming in reverse, sometimes it could be trying to force things to happen. And the Two of Pentacles says maybe you need to make some decisions so that things flow more naturally. Because I don't like the Magician coming in reverse, because this is really, you know, forcing an issue, forcing things to happen. And we have the Two of Pentacles. This is you trying to make it all work. And sometimes we need things to just kind of happen on their own time. Knight of Cups. Because if you force something, you're not going to get it. Okay? I don't know what that means for you, but Suze, you know, you're not going to, if you try to make something happen or you try to force someone to do something, I just see it backfiring on you. So be careful of that. All right. Edward, how are you? You're working on something. You want to know? Will it get you rich? I got my fingers crossed. It'd be great. You know, we're in great times right now to come up with things that would get you rich. So it's not impossible. Well, let's see what the cards have to say for you, Edward, all right? Grateful, thankful for the messages for Edward. He wants to know whatever it is he's working on, will it get him rich? Grateful, thankful for the messages. Let's see what's coming out for Edward. He's working on something. All right, I'm feeling like it definitely will. All right, so here we see that you put your work up and these two people are kind of giving you some kind of critique. Before you put yourself out there, be sure to get some feedback. All right, Edward? But I definitely see that this has potential for it really working. And if you're working with other people, that will also work for you. But whatever it is you're working on, keep going, because like you're almost there. This definitely will have potential for you. I like it, Edward. Yeah, good for you. All right, let's see. S. Leela, can I read for you? Hi, Nisha. CHB Lover. Can you please read one for me? All right, listen, let me go to S. Leela first, all right? How are you, S. Leela? Do you have a question? I'm going to read your cards now. All right, this one's for you, S. Leela. Grateful, thankful for the messages for S. Leela. What do you have for me to say to S. Leela? Listen, if you're about to make a decision, make sure you have all the facts. All right, I don't know what that's about. I just saw the Two of Swords upside down. And, you know, before you make decisions, make sure you know everything that needs to be known for you to make the decision. Well, let's see what else we've got for you as Leela. Yeah, be careful of the devil. All right, this is toxic energy. I wonder whether or not, you know, this whole decision, somebody is going to try to get you to do something you don't want to do. You know, because here I feel as if, you know, he's really trying to persuade you to do something. So like I said, whatever it is that somebody is trying to get you to do or make a decision for, just, you know, really be careful, because you don't want to get into a situation you can't get out of. And when I see the devil card, you know, there could be trouble brewing. So be careful with that, all right, Aslila? You know, and it could be around work. You know, I do see the Three of Pentacles. And if you are working on something, you know, it might be time to put it out there. So that's what I've got for you, as Leela. I hope that works. All right, who else? CHB Lover. Can I please read one for you? Absolutely. All right, let's pull a card for CHB Lover. Grateful, thankful. Did that make sense, Leela? Huh? Did it? You know, I mean, I don't know. I mean, sometimes the messages come out and I'm just saying what it is, and I don't know if it's right or not. I just read the cards. All right, let's see. Who am I reading for? Who's next? Wait, who's next? CHB. CHB Lover. What's going on for you? CHB Lover. Let's see what cards are coming out for you. Grateful, thankful for the message for CHB Lover. Page of Swords. I wonder whether somebody's watching you, stalking you, checking on your social media. You definitely have somebody who has got their eye on you. Yeah, Queen of Cups also coming out. Be careful, because I feel like there could be somebody around you who's a little unstable, all right? So when we have that kind of energy of the Page of Swords reversed, that usually indicates, you know, could be stalking. And that Queen of Cups, ooh, be careful, because this is an energy around somebody who emotionally can be all over the place. So be careful of that. And if you know who I'm talking about, and you don't want to deal with them, CHB, then maybe you want to consider blocking them, because I definitely see a very emotional disconnect. And when, you know, somebody is always like watching what you are, driving past your house, always wanting to know who you're talking to and this and that, I mean, that's not a good energy. And I just feel like you have someone who is doing that to you. Yeah, that's what I've got. Yeah. Don't let them kind of get into your space, right? Because somebody who is emotionally unbalanced, oh my gosh, they can cause scenes. They can just make your life miserable. And I don't want this person to make your life miserable. Jersey. I pull away with my 4 kids. Maybe it's time for me to have what I really want in life. Find myself again, that lost because of loving him too much. All right, let's see if there's another one for you, Jersey. Let's find out. FBI. Uh-oh, we have the FBI is here. My stream is being monitored until our investigation is complete. Your ID has been verified. Your account will be temporarily closed until further notice. I think we have to get rid of that. I don't know what that is. All right, let's see what's going on for you. All right, who am I reading for? Wait. Jersey. Let's find out if there will be another. Listen, I think, you know, if you have an opportunity to move on your way, then you have to do that. All right. So let's see what's going on for you, Jersey. Grateful, thankful for the messages. Will you meet someone? You know, I don't see anyone coming in. We've got the Page of Wands reversed. We've got the Two of Pentacles and then the Eight of Wands. I almost feel like, you know, you need to find yourself first before you find another person. Especially if you've been in a relationship, you know, where, you know, you've been really struggling. Because I really feel like what's more important right now is you to regroup with yourself. Because I don't see anybody right away. So that's what I've got for you, Jersey. Nisha, what should you do? I don't remember what the card was. You're welcome, Tia. Aiden, hey, could you please check when I will finally reach to highest level of spirituality and find my higher self so I can break free from all illusions? Oh my gosh, you know, we spend our whole lives trying to reach our higher point of spirituality. You know, it's a journey. It doesn't happen in a day, you know, but, you know, honestly, you know, to know yourself is where you're going to find your spirituality. So, Aiden, let's pull a card and see what comes out for that. Strength, you know, so yeah, you know, this is about know yourself. Honestly, if you want to find you know, your higher self. You know, you got to make peace with your shadow side. You know, you need to know who you are. You need to know your faults, the dark sides, the bright sides. And you know, the greatest gift that we have in learning how to be spiritual is to be able to be happy within the thralls of chaos. No matter what's going on around us, if we have peace inside of us, you have reached a good level of spirituality. All right, Aiden. Wu-Tang. Grandma cookies. I don't know what that means. Yasmin. What will be reason behind my divorce? All right, so Yasmin, you have asked different questions. You want to know about your career, you're going to make more money, you know, do you want me to answer this question? If I answer this question, that's it. And then I'm going to go on to other people. All right, so if you want to know the reason behind your divorce, let's find out what the reason is behind your divorce. Oh, there it is. A lot of pain. I mean, you know, when we reach the 10 of Swords, I mean, this is a painful card, you know, because there's been a lot of hurt. There's been a lot of words said, things, you know, once you say something, you can't take them back. So the reason for the divorce will eventually be because, you know, you just don't want to deal with so much pain, you know, and I want to say even abuse. So that's what I see for you. Swati, angel guidance for your love life. Grateful, thankful for Swati. Swati would like an angel card for their love life. What can you tell me to tell Swati? Grateful, thankful for the message for Swati. Swati wants an angel guidance card. What is it? All right, we have the 5 of Wands. And you know what I get with this? Pick your battles. You know, don't give people a reason. There's a lot of gossip that could go on, right? And, you know, when it comes upside down, you know, the 5 of Wands is an energy where, you know, there could be fighting. There could be, you know, competition. You know, don't let other people tell you or influence you. I just feel as if with this 5 of Wands, don't give anybody a reason to talk. All right, that's what I've got for you, Swati. All right, Yasmin, I hope that helped. Oh, that's good, Jersey. Yeah, you know, I really think, I mean, I help so many people with their relationships. And when you get out of a relationship, yeah, you're wondering, am I ever going to meet someone else? But it's more important to meet yourself, right? So yeah, Jersey, take care of yourself, you know, and find who you are again. Because then you'll know who it is you want to meet. Mr. Smith. Welcome in, Mr. Smith. David, you're always angry and depressed. Can you tell me why? I love life, but I just get agitated at people for no reason. Me too. You should have seen me yesterday. Let's find out, David. What's going on with you? Give me... Hi, Carolina. Welcome in. I'm good. All right, let's see, David. What is the source of all of this anger and depression? What's going on? Why is David so agitated? What can you tell me to tell David? All right, listen, you know, because you have to trust your intuition. All right, sometimes, David, I think, you know, you're depressed because you knew something was going to happen, but you didn't follow through on it. Or, you know, you knew somebody was a certain way, but you gave them the benefit of the doubt. When we have the High Priestess coming out, it's really encouraging you to really trust what's going on inside of you. You know, you love life, you know, but yet, you know, you find yourself in situations that bring up all these different feelings. So, you know, don't put yourself in those situations. Trust your intuition. If it says, nope, I don't want to deal with this person, leave. You know, it's that easy. You know, so your intuition is your guide. It's taking care of you. So trust it. All right. Because I think a lot of the things that happen because you didn't trust your intuition. So the difference, David, to whether it's reversed or it's upside, right side up. And listen, there's a lot of tarot readers do not read cards reversed. I feel like reversed, there is a meaning to it. And it's usually the opposite of whatever the card suggests. So like, you know, if like this card, we'll pull this card. See this card upright? We see a lot of conversation, people talking, nobody's listening to each other. But if we turn it around, you know, it says don't engage in what other people are saying and what they're talking about because it is just gossip. So I read the reversals because to me, there is always a message in the reversed card because the reversed card is trying to help us, you know, not get engaged in a certain situation. And then there's cards that are reversed, like the Five of Pentacles. When I see the Five of Pentacles reversed, that tells me you are tired of being in a place where you don't have enough, where you feel like you don't get what you want, you're always alone. And when it's reversed, it's like you're tired of that energy and you want to move past it. So yeah, that's how I read reversals. I just really believe in them. Carolina, nice to see you. I hope that answered. Pure love perspective. Has Taurus been done? I believe not, is already seen all signs. I did, you know, a little brief reading for the current energy. So you can go back to the very beginning and you can find Taurus. And I did do a Taurus reading earlier this week. So you can go back to that. All right, Lily, you have a great day yourself. Just the reversal of the right side up version in most cases. Yes, usually that's what it is. You know, like a Chariot card is about movement. And when it's reversed, there's a block, you know, because if, you know, we're moving forward, there's no question, you know, but when it comes up reversed, we're like, why is this reversed? Well, because there's a block somewhere. Something has pulled you off course, or there could be an issue with your car or things like that. So, yeah, I mean, the cards are so deep, you know, and the meanings are so vast, you know, so it's really good to learn the cards so that once you learn the cards and you know the meanings of the cards, you can bring in your intuition to help you read the cards. One last question. All right, Yasmin, what's up? All right, David, how are you? You're going? All right, David, you have a great day. Yasmin. Let me ask, let me pick up a question here for Sandhya. Let's see. What are you meant to hear? How do you say your name? Sandhya? Is that how it is? My apologies. I don't say the names very well. All right, let's see. What are you meant to hear? Give me a card for Sandhya. Let's see. What is Sandhya meant to hear? Grateful, thankful for the messages. All right, let's see. All right, we got the King of Cups. I'm wondering whether you're dealing with somebody who's really struggling. When the King of Cups come in reversed, all right, this is somebody who emotionally has a hard time. Sometimes, you know, this is someone who could, you know, find escape through drinking or smoking or drugging, things like that. Because emotionally, this King of Cups really struggles. So, you know, and I wonder whether or not, you know, you might be going somewhere and you wonder how they're going to be. You know how, like, when you go, you know, like you want them to come, but, you know, they could embarrass you. I have a feeling that this King of Cups could do such a thing for you. So just be very careful of the energy of this King of Cups, because just because they're emotionally down and they're having a hard time does not mean that you have to, you know, have a hard time either, especially if you're in a place where, you know, everybody's having a good time and this guy wants to bring it down because he's not having a good time. Just be careful of that King of Cups, all right? Because that, you know, I think you need to, like, pay attention, because sometimes we want to be a good friend, we want to be a good family member, but not if it costs you your reputation. Do you know what I'm saying? So I feel like there's somebody like that around you. I felt like a boulder halted my life. Thank you for the reading. Oh my gosh, yeah. The meaning of your name is evening. Oh, you have a really good evening. All right, Yasmin, I'm going to finish it up with you. Your last question, all right? Will you make your own money in the future? All right, let's see if Yasmin is going to make her own money in the future. Grateful, thankful for the messages for Yasmin. The future. You know, I don't see you doing it on your own, right? Because the Hermit is very solitary and it's reversed. So, you know, I feel like, you know, you might have to find your way somewhere else, but I don't see you doing it on your own, all right? The Chariot says you have to trust the direction that you want to go in, all right? And if you want to move and make money in a certain way, then you have to be okay to, you know, trust the process. Because I get an unsettled energy with you, Yasmin, all right? And I just feel like, you know, on your own, it will be very difficult for you to make money on your own. You know, some people are good at it. Listen, I'm not good at it. I've been trying to make money on my own for a long time and I struggle, all right? You know, but for you, I just feel like, you know, you may need to, you know, just find your way, you know, and let go and just trust the process. You know, if you need money and you need to get a job, you know. You feel it everywhere. Well, you know, that's where you have to kind of trust yourself. You know, the Chariot, you know, wants you to trust the direction that you're being called to go in. And then we have the Four of Swords. It's unsettled. If you move forward with the thought of like, well, I'm going to fail, you know, then you will. But if you move forward going, you know what, I'm going to go get a job and this is what I really want to do for work. And I'm going to like it and I'm going to make some money. And then from there, you move on. But on your own, no, Yasmin, I don't see you doing it on your own. Hi, Bully. Don't ever apologize for coming back. Hi, Mandy. Will you meet this person at work or on your travels? Let's find out, Mandy. Are you going to meet somebody at work or in your travels? Let's find out. I think somebody's going to find you, Mandy. I don't think you're going to find them. I think they're going to find you. Yeah, you're going to meet somebody at work. Look at this. This is the Knight of Pentacles, and this person is giving you an offer. But let me tell you something about the Knight of Pentacles. They're not exciting, all right? They're not the life of the party. You know, they like to work. They like to move slow. They like to do things, you know, in a very orderly way to get things done. But I definitely feel like you're going to meet somebody at work. For sure, for sure. All right? The One, welcome in. All right, we got to get rid of the One, you know, because this guy, if you're not nice, you don't stay, you know. I just kind of get rid of you. All right, Big Bully, what's going on? Yeah, good luck with everything, Yasmin. All right, Big Bully, where are you? Sonia, you're back. I would like to know if my ex-husband is in love with his wife because things are just not right to me. Oh, well, let's find out. Let's check in and find out. Is your ex-husband in love with his wife? Yes or no? Upright for yes, reverse for no. What's the card that's coming out? No, he's not. Look at that. I don't think it's what he thought it was going to be. All right, Ace of Pentacles reversed. You know, I think he was going to go in this and this was going to work out to his benefit, but no, there's definitely something off. What's the next card? He's, I think, thinking more about you, honestly. He's definitely thinking about back to when things were good. But when it comes to his current wife, no, he's not that happy. So you are right, Tonya. You think he uses her? I mean, possibly. You know, because the fact that it's a pentacle, you know, this is about manifesting something in the material world. You know, a job, a home, you know, life. And the fact that it's reversed, I don't think it worked out the way he thought it was going to work out. Now he's thinking back to when things were better. One more card. Yeah, you know, I mean, he's stuck with her right now, you know, but he's definitely not happy. Wouldn't surprise me if something happens by the fall. You know, some truth, some reality. Yeah, because I do see eventually they might get divorced. That could happen. She's a very sweet lady. Yeah. But remember, he's your ex, so something happened. All right, custom click. Will the business I started be successful, or do I call it quits now? All right, well, let's see. Custom click. Let's find out. Will the business that they started, right? I know, it's like you would love to take there and say, no, don't do it. I got to tell you more. Before you jump in and marry this guy, you need to know this, and this. Right, Tanya? All right, custom click. We're trying to find out about your business. Was it successful, or do you call it quits? Inquiry minds want to know. All right, let's see your business. Listen, keep going. All right, let me talk about this energy here. This energy of the Knight of Pentacles, this is, you have to do the grunt work, all right? And if you do the grunt work, it's going to succeed, all right? So I feel like you've got to stick with it, custom click, and keep going, and don't quit before you actually reach that end game, all right? So yeah, keep going, custom, keep going. Yeah, tell her the truth. Oh, thanks, big bully. I'm glad you're back. I'm glad you're part of the chat. I'm glad you're part of the channel. All those good things. All right, you guys, I think I'm going to end it here. All my devices are starting to lose power, so I think it's at the end. Anyway, thanks for subscribing, Custom Click. Keep going, all right? Do the grunt work, all right? You got to hang in there. You know, it's like stay focused on that end goal, because I see it working for you. All right, you guys have a wonderful day. God willing, I'll be back tomorrow. Until then, be well. Enjoy the day. Enjoy the evening, wherever you are in the world. I sure appreciate each and every one. I appreciate the likes, the comments, the shares, the subscriptions, all of that helping my channel grow. All right, I will see you all on another day. All right, bye now.